I'm Bryan Hyde, and I'm telling it like it is. Well, it's official. Election year is here. Not that you needed anybody to remind you of that, since you've probably been seeing the campaign ads or hearing about the campaigning, well, basically since the day after the last election. But one thing you're going to hear over and over this year is that this is the most important election of our lifetime. And it's not true. Number one, we hear it every single election. Every talking head is telling us it's the most important election of our lifetime. But that's not true. Because if it were the most important election of our lifetimes, don't you think at least a few of us voters would, I don't know, crack a few books, maybe sit down and study some of the issues, some of the principles that were at stake, instead of just getting caught up in this petty popularity contest that really equates nothing more than championship wrestling. It's the red state versus the blue state cage match. But see, that's exactly how the media and a lot of the politicians present it to us. They're not interested in the real substantive issues and principles that are at stake in this election. And by the way, there really are some issues and principles at stake in this election. But that's not what all the politicking is about. The politicking wants to tell us about the day that Mitt Romney's hair was less than perfect, or the day that Ron Paul's eyebrow fell off. It's stupid minutia that's calculated to keep us focused in a direction other than on what really matters. And see, this is where you and I actually have a very vested interest. It's not so much who we put into office that's going to make the difference. But this election may very well have some importance in revealing to us our national character, or at least the character of those who bother to show up and vote. This could be the year that the American people actually have a chance to prove once and for all they think for themselves. They don't have to just rubber stamp whatever candidates we are given within the acceptable range of public opinion by the establishment media and establishment politicians. Why is this so important? Because it's taken us generations to get to where we are right now. We are a nation that spends money, well, in a way that it would be insulting drunken sailors if we compared it to drunken sailors. They're frugal compared to how our government spends money. We're a nation that no longer creates wealth. Our civil liberties are shrinking in the name of safety. We have an aggressive, belligerent foreign policy that is going out abroad telling nations, you'll do what we say or else. And it's not making us safer. And again, this has been developing over generations. It's not going to go away immediately. But the only way it can start to change is if enough Americans choose something different than the carefully vetted candidates that the establishment media and politicians are offering them. So you do have a choice. It's just not so much between the candidates as the principles and values that will drive your voting. Can you see the difference? It's time to crack some books. A little less time spent watching TV, a little more time at the library, and this really could be the most important election in our history. I'm Bryan Hyde, and I'm telling it like it is.